Collaborative consultation is a blend of 6 elements: system, perspective, approach, prototype, mode, and model, which will synthesize into a method with goodness of fit for the particular educational situation. But collaborative consultation is to be accepted by teachers and school administrators. It is to be represented in bold, clear language. This requires careful attention to semantics or the study of the meaning and way meaning is structured in language. You are to avoid your convoluted and redundant phrases, your jargon, and your alphabet soup, whereas your acronyms that appear to lay people to be a form of code. In brevity and clarity, the 6 elements are designed by the uppercase form of the first letter of each word. When 2 elements begin with the identical letter, some other prominent letter in the word is used. The element of system denotes a complex unity composed of many diverse parts for the common purpose. Educators are involved not only in the academic or cognitive aspects of student development, but also in physical, emotional, social, and life orientation aspects. Educators include not only teachers, but your parents, related services and support personnel, other caregivers, and the community in general. Systems in which educators function to serve special needs of students include the home and family, community, medical and dental professions, mental health, social work, counseling, extracurricular, and advocacy and support groups. Other systems might be involved from time to time in addressing very specialized needs are therapy, industry, technology, mass communication, cultural enrichment, and special interest areas such as your talent development. A perspective is an aspect or object of thought from a particular viewpoint. Consultation perspectives that have evolved in education and related fields include the purchase, the doctor-patient, and the process. The first one is the purchase perspective, is one in which the consumer shops for a needed or wanted item. The consumer, in this case, the consultee, shops for services that will help that consultee serve the client's need. The second one is the doctor-patient perspective, and it casts the consultant in the role of the diagnostician and the prescriptor. The consultee knows there is a problem, but it is not in a position to correct it. A classroom teacher might use the doctor-patient perspective by calling on a special education teacher and describing the teacher's learning or behavior problem. The consultant's role would be to observe and review existing data, perhaps talk to other specialists, and make diagnostic and prescriptive decisions. The third one is a process perspective. In the process perspective, the consultant helps the client perceive, understand, and act upon the problem. Consultative services does not replace the consultee's direct service to the client. In contrast to the purchase and doctor-patient perspective, the consultant neither diagnoses nor prescribes a solution. The consultee becomes the consultant's client for that particular problem. All 3 of these perspectives, the purchase, doctor-patient, and process, have strengths. Therefore, each is likely to be employed at one time or another in schools. The element of an approach is primarily a formal or informal step towards a purpose. Formal consultation occurs in pre-planned meetings, such as staffing conferences for developing individual education plans, arranged interactions between school personnel, and organized staff development activities. They also include scheduled conferences with parents, related service personnel, and community resource personnel. In contrast, the informal consultation often occurs on the run. These interactions have been called vertical consultations because people tend to engage in them while standing on playgrounds, in parking lots, at ball games, even the grocery store. It is important to designate informal interactions as consultations because they do require expenditures of time and energy on the part of both consultant and consultee. Informal consultations should be encouraged because they can initiate more planful, productive consultation and collaboration. The element of prototype is a pattern. Consulting prototypes include mental health consultation, behavioral consultation, advocacy consultation, and process consultation. The next 4 slides will go into each of these in depth. The mental health prototype has a long history. In 1960s, Kaplan conceived of consultation as a relationship between two professional people in which responsibility for the client rests on the consultee. Kaplan proposed the consultee's difficulties in dealing with the client's problem usually are cased by any one or all of the 4 interfering themes. First one, lack of knowledge about the problem and its conditions. The second, lack of skills to address the problem in appropriate ways. The third, lack of self-confidence in dealing with the problem. Or the fourth, lack of professional objectivity in approaching the problem. The consultant not only helps resolve the problem at hand, but enhances the consultee's ability to handle similar situations in the future. The behavioral consultation prototype is also intended to improve the performance of both consulting and client. Behavioral consultation is characterized by clear, explicit problem-solving procedures. It is based on social learning theory, so skills and knowledge contribute more to consultee success than unconscious things such as objectivity or self-confidence. The consultant is required to define the problem, isolate environmental variables that support that problem, and plan interventions to produce the problem. In the advocacy consultation prototype, the client is the community, not the established organization, with the consultant serving the client directly as trainer and catalyst and indirectly as the advocate. Advocacy consultants stress that power, influence, and politics are the motivating influence behind human behavior. The process consultation prototype is sometimes included as the 4th prototype along with the mental health, behavioral, and advocacy. Much is the same as it is mentioned in the perspectives. It means that the consultant helps the client perceive, understand, and act upon the problem. The element of mode, which is characterized by the E, is a particular form or manner of doing something. Modes for school consultation can be regarded as a direct consultation for the delivery of service to clients or an indirect consultation for the delivery of service to clients through consultees. In a direct mode, the consultant works directly with the special needs students. An example of the direct mode is teaching coping skills to students for their use at home or at school. The indirect service delivery mode calls for backstage involvement among consultants and consultees to serve client needs. The consultant and the consultee interact and problem solve together. The element of models are patterns, examples for imitation, representation, in miniature, description, analogies, or displays. A model is not the real thing, but an approximation of it. It functions as an example through which to study, replicate, approximate, or manipulate intricate things. Some of the more well-known models adopted or modified for school consultation over the past 25 years are the triadic model, which was developed by Thorpe and Wetzel, is the classic consultation model from which many school consultation models have evolved. Also, the Stevens system model, constructed by Stevens, is an extension of his directive teaching approach. It includes 5 phases. First, the assessment, observation, data collection. Second, specifications of objectives, problem identification. The third one, planning and finding ways of solving the problem. Fourth, implementation of the plan, measurements of the progress. And then finally, the 5th one is the evaluation and data analysis. The third one is the Resource Consulting Teacher Program Model, otherwise known as RCT. It was implemented at the University of Illinois and replicated in both rural and large urban areas. It is based on the triadic model with numerous opportunities for interaction among teachers and students and parents. In the RCT model, emphasis is placed on training students in the curricula used within each mainstream student's general classroom. The next one is the School Consultation Committee model. It provides an alternative approach for school consultation in the form of school consultation committee model. The committee typically includes a special education teacher, a primary classroom teacher, an upper grade classroom teacher, the building principal, and persons involved in the consulting roles. The committee meets as frequently as needed in order to screen referrals, assess problems, and develop plans, and evaluate the results of those problems. The other one is the Vermont Consulting Teacher Program Model, and it is a collaborative effort of local school districts, State Department of Education, and the university personnel for providing consultative services statewide to teachers who have children with disabilities in their classrooms. This early model, another adaptation of the triadic model, includes 4 phases after student referral. It has the entry level data collection and diagnosis, then the specification of instructional objectives, next, development and implementation of a plan, and finally, the evaluation and follow through. The last one we're going to talk about is the collaborative consultation model. It conceptualizes the consultant and consultee as equal partners with diverse expertise, identifying problems, planning intervention strategies, and implementing recommendations. It is the expectation that both consultant and consultee will work directly with the student. Collaborative consultation will be effective when learners with special needs can be served better, when teachers generate and merge strategies and ideas through collaboration, educators can acquire the skills to collaborate effectively, collaborative solutions are more successful than those developed individually, and positive changes occur in school systems in the form of more team teaching, enhanced skills and attitudes of collaborators, and improvement of learning and social skills among learners with special needs. This, also with the 6 elements, will help make collaborative communication consultation more effective.